Hey, it's Amber. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. From time to time, actually pretty frequently, I get questions from people. And so today I'm just going to sit down with a cup of coffee and answer your questions. So let's jump right in. All right, one question that we get asked a lot is, are you going to get chickens? No, no, we are not going to get chickens. Now, I will never say never because, things change and you never know what's going to transpire, but I have no plans for chickens. I will probably get hate mail for this, but I don't like chickens. I don't really like them. My grandma had chickens when I was little and they chased me and I hated those things and I don't want to get chickens. And the main reason though why I don't want to get chickens is because I have heard that when they get old or sick, you have to humanely do away with them. I cannot do that. Even though I don't like them, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to kill them. So no chickens. I wanted ducks really bad. Last year I really wanted ducks in the worst way, but we have too many predators for ducks. I would just be heartbroken over and over and over again. So no ducks, no chickens, no plans for that anyway. Another question that we get quite frequently is, how long have you lived at the farm? A little bit over a year. We moved in, it's hard to say when we moved in, it was sort of a process, but we got possession of this place in January of 2023, began doing a lot of work on it. By March, I believe it was March when we moved in. Continue to do work. We're still doing work. We have projects planned for this year as well. But yeah, just a little bit over a year that we have lived here. So, and it is not actually a farm. It sort of is. It's 5 acres on a little farm road in a very small town in Kentucky. We do have a little bit of a hay field. We had more of a hay field, and then we fenced it in for pasture for the donkeys. We still have a little bit. Kentucky does not consider bees livestock, nor do they consider donkeys livestock, so we are technically not a farm. But we have a little bit of land and dabble here and there with stuff. So that's it. Another question that we get is, who is your husband? We see him in some of the videos, but we don't know anything about him. Who is he? Well, my husband's name is Brian. Now, he spends a lot of his life live in the public eye. And so he is not real crazy about being in the spotlight on social media and YouTube and that kind of thing. So you won't see a whole lot of him, but he's okay with making an appearance here and there. But yeah, and he doesn't do Facebook or Instagram or any of that. He's a pastor. And being a pastor, he's been a pastor for 45 years. 35 at our current church. At the end of this year, he will be retiring. So we will begin a whole different aspect of our lives. But yeah, he's in the public eye quite a bit, and he really doesn't want anything to do with social media or anything like that. So won't be seeing a whole lot of him, but that's who he is. We've been married for more than half my life. Long time. Yeah. So another question that we get is, are you going to get more donkeys? Yes, I hope so. It's our plan. It's our hope. Hopefully this year we will get at least one more donkey. We would like to get at least one, possibly 2 more donkeys, because they're just amazing animals and we have come to just love them, and we love sharing them with people. Waylon in particular is going to be in a wedding. He goes to nursing homes. We do donkey encounters. We just love to be able to share him with other people as often as we can, so that we hopefully will get some more. Another question that I get from time to time is, what kind of a job did you do previously? Well, I have done a number of things. I actually went to college and majored in psychology. I never used that degree necessarily, but I've done a number of jobs. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time until my kids were pretty much in school. The youngest one went to school. I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom. Now, I've always worked. I've always found little ways here and there to bring in a little extra money. But I've done a lot of different things. So most recently, I worked as a firearms instructor. I was fortunate in that I got to work as one of the only female firearms instructor in a very elite training organization. I got to work alongside some of our nation's best, truly some of our nation's best. They had served in the military, served as law enforcement officers, and they trained law enforcement officers. They trained SWAT all over the country. They had trained the NYPD. Yeah, I mean, they were top-notch guys. And they let me work with them, and they taught me so much, so much. And they treated me with so much respect. I don't think I've ever been treated with so much respect. They treated me like I could do anything they could do. I couldn't. They knew that. I knew that, but they treated me like I could. I just learned so much. It was truly one of the best experiences of my life. I thoroughly enjoyed it, will always be grateful, and will always treasure those memories. Another question that I get is kind of a funny one, kind of a fun one, is how did you and your husband meet? Well, we met at college. We both went to college. Now, we're the same age, but I did a few other things before I went to college. So he was a junior and I was a freshman, and I started college, and he was my orientation leader. So I arrived on campus and I moved into my dorm room, and there was a little note taped on my door that said, the orientation banquet is at this place tonight, this time, be there. We're table number 27, whatever. And so I went, and he was literally the first guy that I met on campus. I went to college and married the first guy I saw, pretty much. Now, I did not like him right away. It took a while for him to grow on me. I didn't really like him all that much in the beginning. In fact, at that orientation banquet, we had to sing the blessing. Now, if you've been around my husband and you've heard him sing, you know that he can't at all. So we started singing this blessing, and he was like making up his own words, and it was just horrible. It was horrible. And I was laughing, and he was like, "Are you laughing at my singing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." It was awful. And then as we were talking through the meal, the girl sitting across from us said, "Oh, you told him that he reminded her of somebody that she knew." And I said, "Yeah, he reminds me of somebody I know too." And he said, "Do you like the person that I remind you of?" And I said, "No," which was the truth. But yeah, so it took a while. We were friends first. I was actually interested in somebody else. So we were friends, and he was probably my best friend on campus. And by the time Christmas rolled around, things had changed, and we began dating at that point. So that is how we met. Another question I get asked once in a while is, where are you from? I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Like, do I have a weird accent? I don't think I do. But anyway, so I am originally from southern Indiana. Little bitty town in southern Indiana, little farming, coal mining community. Great, great, great little town. When I was a freshman in high school, we moved to Ohio. So another town just north of Cincinnati. And I lived there most of my life. Met my husband, we got married. Long story short, he's in ministry, so we lived in a number of places. We lived in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And we lived in Alabama, Valley, Alabama. And then back to Ohio, and now in Kentucky. So that's where I've lived. Another question that I got just recently, it was kind of an off-the-wall question. It's not one that I get frequently at all. In fact, probably the only time I ever was asked it is, what is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life? Well, aside from family, which is an obvious answer, as far as things I've done in my life, what are some of I've gotten to do some really cool stuff. I mean, I look back at the things that I have done throughout the course of my life, and I think, my gosh, I have been so blessed to be able to do so many really cool things. Just as some of them is probably one of the coolest was I got to go to Romania. This was right after communism fell in that country, and me and a team of 4 other men went to Romania for 2 weeks. We got to work alongside members of parliament over there. It was amazing. It was really, truly amazing to see these people who had been just oppressed by communism for so many years finally get to enjoy their freedom. And it was amazing. And then as a side note, we got to go to Transylvania and go through an old 15th century Gothic castle with a torch. It was not a tourist destination. I don't think Romania really had tourism at that point in time. They were still kind of recovering from years of communism, but we got to go through this thing. I don't think we were really supposed to be there, but it was the creepiest thing I have done. It was also one of the coolest. It was pretty cool. There was a story of a bridge that the guys who were with me will well remember the bridge. Yeah, it didn't look like it would hold a cat, and we all walked across it reluctantly. But we did, and we lived to tell the story. So that was pretty cool. Some other things that, I got to lead mission groups to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation for years. We supplied literally thousands of backpacks and school supplies to the kids on that reservation. So I got to do that. I got to organize a music venue, music concert. Just done a lot of really cool things. I have been so incredible. If I died today, I would feel like I lived the best life. And now I'm here I am on the farm, totally different than anything I've ever, been a part of before. I grew up around farming. All my family are farmers. So it's not really new to me. In fact, it feels like home, but I'm not as busy. It's just not as busy work as what I have done in the past. But yeah, I love it. I would be happy just to stay here. Never leave. All right, so that's it. If you guys have more questions, send them my way. I will get to them eventually. Can't imagine why anybody is all that interested, but if you are, I will answer, okay? So go make it a good day, and I will talk to you later.